The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello, and hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 86. Thank you so much for joining us today or tonight, this evening, this morning, this weekend, whenever you are tuning in. We very much appreciate it. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Sitting to the left of me is Jess.
No, I guess not.
I guess not.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, no, actually, she's doing some training stuff for work tonight, but the show has to go on because that's how we're rolling.
Q Queen.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. And but clearly sitting to the right of me is the drum master of puppets himself, Woody.
Good evening.
Yeah, and tonight we're going to be talking to a special guest, an artist out of Southern California, and we will get to him in a little bit. But right now we're going to go through, I guess we don't have 101 tonight, so.
No,
but you know what? On 101's behalf, we will say a quick shout out to Dan.
Yeah, Dan, happy belated birthday. By the time you get this, it will be more than a few days. But just wanted to make sure
Yes.
that we gave you a birthday shout out. So on behalf of Mark.
Yes, happy
myself,
birthday.
And the Jess herself, the game changer. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Hope you had a wonderful time.
I hope so.
Hope you had a relaxing day and everything like that.
As everyone should on their birthday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we'll be talking to the artist, and then we will be. Actually, this is going to go through the news right now. Let's just do it right now and see what's going on.
Let's do it.
Actually, before we get to the news, maybe we'll talk about. So Galaxy's Edge has opened up.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that's one of the first news items. So maybe we'll talk about it. Have you been reading about it and seeing stuff? Are you trying to keep yourself away from it?
So there are a few pinpoint things that I wanted to look at.
Yeah.
And then after that, I did that, and I have stayed away.
Okay.
Because I want to be surprised. There was such a flood on opening day, which you expect, but social media, everything, every bit of my social media was just covered with it. And it made it very difficult for me because I was like, okay, I want to see a couple things. And I was like, I was flying through a lot of it. I didn't want to know more than I want to know.
Right.
So pictures of everything. And I'm like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I want to keep on going. So what I will say is what I wanted to see was mainly, one thing I wanted to mainly see. Then I got kind of pulled into seeing another thing. So the main thing that I wanted to see was lightsabers, obviously.
Yeah.
And I watched the video on the entire process of it.
Yes.
And I think I sent it to you, right?
You did, and I showed it to Annika as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was floored.
Yeah.
And it's magnificent in my mind. Mm-hmm. Sent it to my brother. And my brother, in true big brother form, a bunch of expletives that I can't say here.
Yeah.
Basically alluding to he wants one of each.
Oh, he wants one now. I asked you, and you said he wasn't.
I didn't know. I said, I don't know if he would, but I sent it to him.
Okay.
And like I said, expletive. If you really want, I can read it. I'll read it a second minute. But yeah, it was a lot. I mean, I can bleep. I can do bleeping. But anyway.
Do you think Ricky's going to want one?
Yeah, I sent him the same video, but I never got a response. But he was also filming.
Oh, sure.
He was off wherever in North Carolina, whatever, filming. So,
what about Chad?
Oh, I didn't do that.
Do you think Chad would be likely to get one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I sent them the video, and here we go. I'm going to edit this. MFer, I want one. MFer was 3 exclamation points. I want one exclamation point. No.
MFer must be Mickey's friends?
Yes, Mickey's friends. I want one. No, I want one of each. Crap balls.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
So he's willing to drop 8 bills right now for 4 different sabers.
Okay.
Anyway, so there you go. So I wanted to see that, and I did, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it solidified my wanting.
Right.
A few things have come up since then,
like
the yellow kyber.
Yes.
You can get a yellow kyber crystal and a white kyber crystal.
And the elusive black one.
And the elusive black one, which honestly is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But when you light up the blade, it's still red.
Still red, is it?
Yeah. So it's kind of like, well, it's kind of lame.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping it'd be like black and then it'd be black, but no.
Okay. So one thing that I did hear about all that stuff is, and we knew this before, but you could go to, whose shop is that has that where you get the crystals?
That would be, why can't I remember his name right now?
I don't have his name. Doc something?
Doc Ondo.
Doc Ondo?
Yeah.
Is that what it
I
is?
think so.
Okay.
Man, it's really slipping my mind right now.
Okay. Well, whatever that shop, where you get the kyber crystals, and you can get those legacy lightsabers. But what I found or heard is that you can't modify any of those.
No, you can't.
So the one that you wanted, the guard one,
I would have kept. I wouldn't have tried it. It was going to be yellow anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it. There would have been no need to touch it.
but yeah, you're sort of stuck with that one.
Yeah, and then I would have been. But I was fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem with it whatsoever because the lightsaber hilt itself was fantastic anyway.
Right.
I like it anyway.
Okay.
But now that I can custom and get a yellow kyber crystal, I'm in.
You're in.
Double, triple.
So when we go, we're going to have a little over and under contest for a bag of coffee or something to see how much Udi has spent on. and I think we talked about that the other day. We said, $250? Over, oh, no, wait a minute. We got to go, whatever. I'm going to say 300. Over, under 300.
Over.
Well, we don't know yet.
I'm going to bet over.
Okay. So what else was about? So it's been open for a week now, a week and like 10 days now. And so far they've already made some modifications to how things work, and namely with Olga's Cantina. Now this thing, from what I'm hearing is that it's really, really small, and people flock to that immediately. So you will have like a 45-minute wait just to get in, and then you have to pay for some drink that's extremely expensive, and then you leave. You go in one way and not the same way. And there's some design, people complain about the design, but I sort of understand that, where they want to make sure the alcohol stays in there and they want to monitor this. So I'm guessing that's why there's one in and one out. But it also, I don't know, I think it being so small, I wonder if that just adds to the exclusivity.
Yep, exclusivity. Yep,
exclusivity of it. Sorry,
no,
it's one of those words I can't
it
say.
does. It does. Yeah,
and it doesn't help with the social influencers showing up there saying it's the greatest thing.
No.
But we'll talk about like a map of people who have gone, of what to do in order. But it's going to be... so what you do now is, from what I'm hearing, is that when you show up there, you wait in line, and you put your name. And you have to wait up to 45 minutes to 50 minutes just to put your name on a list. And you go, okay, Mark and Udi, we're going to put you in our system. We're going to text you when your reservation is to come back.
Yeah.
And that could be 2 hours.
Yeah, and that'd be fine.
But if you only have a 4-hour reservation system, I mean, in there, that kind of sucks. But when we go, all that's going to be gone. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works. So that part's fine.
I'm gonna venture a guess that it won't be gone.
No.
What I mean by that is that they're planning on the reservation system, whatever. Kind of, they don't want to keep to it.
So the reservation to the Olga's or Galaxy's Edge?
Galaxy's Edge in general.
Yes.
My personal opinion is they're going to bring it back.
The
if
4-hour
they get
block?
rid of it, yeah.
Because
it's going to be the only way to manage it, and with what it looks like to be having a overall positive effect on the park as far as wait times.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do it?
Sure. You're right. So you're talking post June 23rd. I think they may open it up to regular virtual queue, but then probably bring it back, like you said, because
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. A lot of people aren't even gonna understand.
Yeah, no, I think we're gonna go through a growing pain, like with anything brand new.
Yeah.
But right now, from everything I'm reading, it's fairly smooth going. Why wouldn't you keep it?
Right.
That's my point.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
You're right. I'm glad that it's open now. It looks like to me like it's a half-baked area. That's not saying anything. I would absolutely love to go right now and check it out. But, I don't know. I felt like, as I told you before, I felt like we missed out on going for the first week, but I think I'm okay now. I think I'm good.
I told you you'd be fine.
I know. I just had to get through it.
Yep.
Because I didn't show much restraint by looking at stuff and looking at reviews and videos, and it just looks incredible. And that's not going to take anything away from how it's going to impact me when I see it.
Well, and I honestly don't think it'll change anything that happens to me, but the reason why I'm really not looking at anything else. I mean, I'm not. If I see it on social media anywhere on my social media, I go right past it. I do not look at it. Okay. Because I don't want to know anymore. I don't. I want. I kind of want to preserve the mystery that that we had in the build up to this, and I don't. Yeah. I don't want to change it because part of me, with everything that went on and is still going on with the up and down about people going to the park and our wonderful counterpoint Jess and how she's had a very negative reaction to it. I'm part of sitting here going, okay, well. I want to be able to walk in, and then I don't want to have like my preconceived notions. I want to take everything in, and try to give it an honest, fair assessment. Not like, oh man, it's going to be cool, and then or be let down, and then have that affect me. I want to be able to walk in and go, okay, this is good, this is bad, and be more objective if possible. If possible, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. But I'm still, fully anticipating the ugly cry at the Falcon. Sure, yeah. But beyond that, a lot of, I've heard, like I said, part of it too is why I'm staying away from social media on it, is because you have your haters. You're flat out haters on it. Yep. Hating, and I've read a couple posts, and I made it 5 minutes through a hate-filled tirade video by somebody who called themselves a Star Wars fan on YouTube, and I shut it off because I'm like, you don't understand. You're so stuck in your fandom for the originals, which there's nothing wrong with. No. We are too. Yeah. But when you're sitting here, it's a flop, it's terrible, but yada yada. I'm like, you're missing something. He was just going on a tirade about it, and I'm like, they're not. Disney is not going to be banking on the past. They're banking on the future. Yeah. So if you're in your mind, you're thinking, well, where's Luke? Where's Han? Well, then you're a moron. Sorry to say, but you're a moron. The classic Star Wars lover that I am, of course my mind goes, I want to see that. But the reality is, we're not. They're in the past. Yeah. They are. No matter, even if you don't want them to be, they are. Yeah. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing that's going to change it. It is a passage of time. So mourn the passing of those characters, which we all are doing. Yeah. Loving, hating how they go, whatever. Hating how they... Anyway, hating how they go. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's going to happen. So they're going to be looking into 40 years in the future. I made this comment before. They have to bank on success for 40, 50 years. Yeah. Not looking at the 40 that have passed, but the 40 that are coming. So anyway, that's why I'm kind of like, anybody who's going to hate on it on its merits, not on because you are upset that you're not getting classic Star Wars that in your mind you wanted. But anyway. But again, that's why I've been kind of stayed away from social media, because I don't want it to affect anything. I'm basically doing the same thing I do with a movie that I'm like with Star Wars, the last for Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I'm done. I'll see a trailer. The next one comes out, I'll watch it. Anything else? Nothing. Yeah. Photos. I saw the Vanity Fair spread, and I was like, oh, and I went, nope, no more.
Yep.
No more.
I'm not. Oh yeah, some of the characters. The one that the new character, the female. Although I think she's a bounty hunter. No, she's not a bounty hunter. She looks like a bounty hunter, but she's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's the actress?
I have no idea.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep, I do.
I think she looks cool in the outfit. I go, what is that outfit?
Yep.
And if we don't know what she is yet, right?
Yeah,
Villain.
I don't know. It may be out there. I'm not looking.
I don't know either, but I think she is a good person.
I think so too. But I think I saw a picture with her with Finn, but it doesn't mean anything. But anyway, my point is, again, with Galaxy's Edge, I want to try to remove as much emotion out of it, which may seem odd because we've had very emotional rants about it,
yes,
both positive and negative. But at this point, we're faced with the reality of it here. I think I want to remove emotion and try to go logic and see where we're at.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
And now let's go to our news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
Tonight's news is brought to you by Expedition Roasters Coffee, where they encourage you to brew your happy place.
And I highly recommend you go get their new brew. It is literally a churro in your cup. Go get it.
Yeah, it is really good, huh? I had some of it the other day, and it is really, really good. So yeah, whether you are going to Disneyland or Batu or anything, and you want to have some of that Disney magic at your house, go check out Expedition Roasters Coffee and use our code LTP20 for 20% off your very first order. Very cool people, very cool company. Expedition Roasters Coffee, brew your happy place. Yeah, Udi. So we've got a few things to talk about. We were talking about Galaxy's Edge opening up, and that kind of led to our first news item. So it's been open now for a week or 10 days. And I'm just going to read someone's guide to how to experience it right now. Yes. Should I not go there?
Well, part of me goes, sure. The other part of me is, why?
Okay. I don't know. They just did it. You know what? Forget it. We're not doing it. We're going to make an executive decision.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
I'm going to go with anything. We can give you recommendations, but never follow anybody's list.
No.
It's mine. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I kind of glanced through this right now. I'm like, no, I'm totally not going to do any of this in this order.
Okay. Well, then you know what? Seriously. Now, experience it the way you want to experience it. Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to plan out when I'm going to ugly cry. I just want to do it. Okay. I don't want to think about it.
Okay. There you go. There you go. Okay. So then the next news item we have is Mickey's Mix Magic ends Thursday. That was last week. Disneyland Forever returns on Friday. That was last week. Jess would actually probably want to weigh in on this. Disneyland officially wraps up Mickey's 90th birthday celebration last week, and the final performances of the Mickey's Mix Magic nighttime show are scheduled for 9:30 that last week. Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to have any issue with that.
Starting Friday, June the 7th, that was last Friday, the very popular Disneyland Forever fireworks show will light up the skies above Disneyland at 9:30 p.m. each night throughout the summer. Originally created for Disneyland's 60th anniversary celebration, Disneyland Forever incorporates lasers and projectors, water screens and bubble blowers, snowmakers and inflatable dancers along with the fireworks. Sure. I mean, that's good. Mickey's Mix Magic. I saw it by chance, and I wasn't underwhelmed or overwhelmed. I was just kind of whelmed. I was like, whatever.
Well, then we all heard Jess's reaction to it.
She hates it.
Hated it. Hated it.
Hated it. In fact, she wanted to leave.
Yep. She left.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess...
Well, she doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
Yes,
Yep.
she does not.
Yep.
Maybe she wrote them and said cancel it immediately, and that's what happened.
And then they had the high priority. This is not only from the LTP, it's from Jess of the LTP.
Yes.
So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So things get done. Okay. Next item, Alien Pizza Planet. Last year, Red Rocket's Pizza Port was given the IP treatment with a temporary Alien Pizza Planet overlay went up for Pixar Fest. But when the overlay stuck around long after Pixar Fest ended, it seemed Red Rocket's Pizza Port's days were over. Oh, but no. After undergoing a renovation in May, Alien Pizza Planet has officially taken over. And that's not the only thing that changed at the restaurant. The new Alien Pizza Planet sign has been installed, complete with a flying little green man alien. The restaurant's interior also received refurbishment too. When you walk through the doors, there's a new display of drinks, parfaits, and alien macaroons to the left. Wonderful. Lastly, there have been changes to
the menu change.
Yeah, changes to the seating portion of the restaurant as well. A new red rocket has been added to the ceiling, possibly tribute to Red Rocket's.
But I do like that outer seating that goes right along the edge of the entrance to space. I don't mind it.
No, I don't mind it either.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You're kind of tucked away in the corner. Yeah. I like that.
Would you consider that to be a respite?
Yeah, that would be a good place for a respite. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yes, it is. So they changed the rocket to say Alien Pizza Planet or whatever, or Pizza Port.
Doesn't really matter.
No, but if they're going to level Tomorrowland, so why are they doing that?
Because if the leveling happens, it's going to be a couple years from now.
True.
So,
yeah,
might as well.
Yeah. Okay. Next,
because theming doesn't fit with having the Pixar and all that. They had to maintain some semblance of theming. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The last one was actually just something that came up from It's a Small World. And
right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay.
Go ahead. There's a good ending to this. This was all generated from a guest survey question while you're at the park, and there's basically this question: the next time you visit Disneyland Park, will you ride It's a Small World? That was sent out to people who were in the park, and I guess it added some craziness to people because it made people speculate. And of course, my chat ran with it, saying, "What's going on?" If It's a Small World were to go away, there would be much more room for backstage-based land to fill in the area, like a second phase of a very crowded land that's on the horizon, or an expansion of Fantasyland. I think that's on the horizon, talking about Galaxy's Edge, right? Mm-hmm. Expansion of Fantasyland depends on to whom you are speaking. Mm-hmm. One thing that is not on the chopping block is the Walt Disney World version for a Tangled ride or anything else. One rumor is for Disneyland It's a Small World to move to Tokyo. Instead of simply moving their version, they'd take control of Walt's original. It's usually about 2 years between the first survey question and announcement. So if this is going to happen, it's a long way off. A lot depends on how people answer that question. We'll just have to, as always, wait and see. If you got that survey question, how would you answer, Udi?
Well, okay. The answer would be no if you're asking me straight up. But if someone said, should we get rid of it? The answer would also be no.
Okay.
So no and no. Don't get rid of it. But anyway, yeah.
Okay. But the same for me.
Yeah. Like I never. Everyone on the show who's listening knows I do not have an affinity for that attraction. In fact, I kind of detest that attraction. But that being said, doesn't mean I'd want to go away.
No.
Because I can recognize what that is. If you want to go into the history of it, we can. But we've done it before. No need to go into it now. But no, it doesn't need to go anywhere.
Gotcha. Well, Disneyland responded on June 4th. It appears Disney does read the fan sites. Disney PR just reached out to say there are no plans to remove It's a Small World. Though my grumpy side will say that they said the same thing about Tower of Terror, my pixie dust side is relieved and grateful. Thanks to Disney and to our stalwart mice chatters, this is where I got it from. I'll keep an eye on the rumor mill, and perhaps we can confirm or reject some other things floating around there. Yeah.
Okay, so here was what I made my comment, because we've said it before, we have many conversation away from microphones about certain things. Mm-hmm. And we did have a conversation about this away from microphones on a nice text scroll.
Yeah.
And I said, look, one, there's no way it's going away.
No.
Redoing Tower of Terror, they didn't get rid of Tower of Terror. They rethemed it. They're talking about getting rid of that, like, away. No, you can't. You can't get rid of it. It is so ingrained into the park. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can hear that freaking click, tock, tick, tock. I mean, you hear. So no, they're never going to get rid of it. And if they did try to get rid of it, I think you would have a massive uproar over it. You would. So that was my I made the point in our conversation was this is why I kind of hate these topics that get brought up, because it stirs up so much garbage and is so wildly hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
With no basis. They take one small thing and go like, oh my God, this is what's going to happen. I'm like, oh my God, pump the brakes for a second.
But don't you, I mean, but there's some part of you it's good conversation, right?
Well, I mean, there's part of it, but the thing is when too many people, like some people take this stuff to freaking heart and they go wild with it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like slow down. Like, you know, you're going to have those people like Disney doesn't listen to anybody. They are going to do whatever they want to do and, fan be damned. We don't care.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to try to generate cash. And to an extent, I can agree at some points. But overall, no, there are certain things they're not going to do. And I think there are certain things that they recognize that they cannot do. Love or hate Iger.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I think he has an idea of is what you can't mess with.
Right.
Now, I know there's pressure everywhere, and the bottom line can speak billions. I just don't like when people just run around with this stuff because it creates a lot of like emotional
panic,
and some people get visceral over it, and you're like, dude, like, whoa, just whoa. And I think with Galaxy's Edge opening, that has really made me think about a lot of these different things that we hold sacred, and a lot of the different things that people have been talking about. Galaxy's Edge, like I was saying earlier about videos and people like just haters and
sure.
And you don't even know. It's like people hating on a movie when you didn't even see it. Like Solo. Hating on Solo. I'm like, have you seen the movie? Well, no. Okay, well then how can you talk?
Right.
So, I mean, I get people's guttural reaction to it, but I think at some point in time, we have to learn to, like, just pump the brakes and slow down. So Galaxy's Edge has really made me think about that, and I find I've been getting more and more engrossed, not so much in what is in that section of the park now, Galaxy's Edge. I'm getting more engrossed in people's reactions to it.
Yeah.
And not the positive reactions.
As long as you don't let any of that sway you.
No.
Okay, and I don't think it will.
No, because, I mean, and that's where I'm kind of like, again, like I was commenting on that video. Some guy was going off on the video. I'm like, dude, you're dumb. You're dumb because you're missing the entire point of everything, and it seems pretty blatant to me. And so, again, like, conversation is good. And there should never be a lack of conversation. We're here, and all we are doing is conversing.
Yes.
But sometimes that kind of stuff is just so out there, and you're like, man, is that even worth bringing up? Is that even worth bringing up? Because what is it going to do? Piss people off for no apparent reason? I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I mean, you can't negate. I mean, you can't, stifle conversation. So at one turn, I'm like, talk away. The other part of me like, but can we talk about something fun?
Right, yeah.
Can we do something better? Like, can we talk about that if there's actually, like, they announce it? Then, okay, let's go ham all in and go. A rumor? Well, we can talk about the rumor, but don't get too crazy over it.
Okay, there you go.
Don't get too crazy over it.
Crazy over the rumors? Okay.
Don't let the rumor mills drive you guys crazy, okay? Because it drove me crazy for a little while, and I'm kind of, like, realizing I went for a ride. I don't want to do that anymore. So I encourage you, everyone, to join the slow train with me.
Yes.
Forward facing. and just enjoy and see what we get. You know? And then and that's where I'm kind of going with the Galaxy's Edge right now. Up and down, back and forth, love, hate, whatever. Just I want people to go and take it in. Mm-hmm. Like I'm going to take it in. Like you're going to take it in. We're going to take it in.
Yes.
And then at that point, make your call. At that point, go, okay, no, hate it, whatever.
Yeah.
Or I think it ruined the park, or it added the park, or it should whatever we've been talking about. Mm-hmm. And millions of people have been talking about for the last 4 years or 3 years, whatever. When it was announced? 4 years ago? No?
Yeah, something like 4 or 5, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just going to tell everybody, like, we had our episode where we had to vent all this negative energy that had been built up, and since then I think I've gotten very cathartic over the whole thing. I don't know where you at with that. I mean, because we can have this conversation now without Jess, because Jess, we know where Jess is.
Yeah.
And God bless her. She's going to be there until she decides not to be there anymore. Whatever, or wherever. She's going to go where she goes with it. But, I'm kind of like, I want to... I want to see. Now we have it. Now we have the chance to actually make concrete assessments.
Yep.
Not hearsay or rumor or whatever. Now we have actual physical things to look at.
Yep.
And actual wait times to look at, and actual crowding numbers to look at, and actual experiences to look at, and everything. Now we actually have it in our hands, and we can have it in our hands, lightsaber, and
yeah.
see it in our eyes, and react and listen to the music, and everything we're going to have now is there. So, yeah, I'm just going to encourage everybody, when you go, if you really feel that negative towards it, I'm never going to say you need to go. But if you just don't know, just go and experience it. That's what I'm going to do.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat too. Like I said, I thought we had. I watched a lot of the videos, and I just felt like we should have been a part of it. And I have heard some negative reviews, specifically with Smuggler's Run. But it's already the coolest thing we've ever seen Star Wars-esque. So it's people, I don't know why they're complaining. And then they're complaining about long line times. But you know what? If you're one of those fortunate few groups that got to go in, what are you complaining about, man? But as with everything, kinks are going to get worked out. Things are going to get adjusted. And I'm going to just reserve any judgment until we can walk around, not even talking, just looking at things and seeing how I feel.
Yep.
And so far, I'm pretty stoked about it.
Yeah. So, like I said, like before, it goes counter to what I'm saying. Like logically, I want logic to apply, but I want logic to apply till I get there. Once you get in through there, it's all going to be emotion after that.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a lot of details that people are either missing or they're not showing that I'm kind of curious to look around and...
and that is the one thing, that's one of the reasons why I don't want to follow anybody's, or did you see that, blah, blah, because I don't. I want to be able to, I think after first trip, then maybe I'll be more tuned, like, okay, what did I miss? Because I want to be able to discover the little detail on my own. I want to be able to discover, oh, look, there's a blast marker. Or, oh, hey, is that, what does that say? Or is that a doorway to something? Or, what is the First Order doing over here? And are they going to come over here? Or whatever, are rebels going to be running around and trying to push in direct? And all these little things that they're out there, and I've heard you hear whispers of. I don't want to know.
No.
I don't want to know.
Right.
I'm trying to be as clean as possible, and it's going to be a pain waiting until August. But yeah.
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 Okay. Right on. Well, that was the news for us.
Yep.
Okay. So 101 is dark tonight, so please enjoy the other attractions of LTP. And that'll lead us to our feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
Hey there, Leaving Today podcast listeners. We want to welcome you to our feature presentation for tonight. So we have a special guest on, and we always try to talk to people that are either authors or fans of the park. Maybe they're historians. Anyone who actually feels inspired to write a book or to do something about the park, we want to talk to this particular person because we just think it's kind of cool and we think that you would like it. Now, I came across this particular person just on accident. I happened to find his page on Instagram, and this guy was making some art pieces that I had never seen before. And I was like, okay, how is this guy doing it? And this is very, very, very cool stuff. I'm going to get one. But I wonder if I'd like to talk to this guy, because I bet you this guy's probably pretty cool to talk to. And I thought our listeners were going to be interested in this as well. And coincidentally, Jess bought one of his pieces. And this is before she even knew I was going to reach out to him, which I thought was really, really cool. Anyways, without any further ado, there's no more ados to give. I want to welcome Jacob from Vinylsmack. Hello, Jacob.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Do we call you Jacob Vinylsmack or Jacob or just Vinylsmack?
You can call me Jacob.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right on, man. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us for this show. It means a lot.
Yeah.
So where are you located?
I'm in the city of La Puente, Southern California.
Okay. How
Since we're going to talk about Disneyland.
Yeah.
About 30 minutes away from Disneyland, Southern California.
So you must know where that is, right?
Where was that again?
Yeah.
What is the town again?
La Puente?
Yep. Yep, I have a vague idea of where that is. Yeah, it's been a few years. I was born and raised in that Southern California.
Yeah, San Gabriel Valley, next to West Covina.
Yep. Now I know exactly where.
Oh,
you're
I
at.
know where West Covina is. Yeah.
Well, San Gabriel Valley.
I grew up in West Covina, but this is where I live right now.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, Disneyland was, an every year thing. We went all the time because it was close by,
Yeah. That's the same thing with Udi.
Yep, that's exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in Pico Rivera, Montebello, and then East LA, and so every year, multiple times a year to the park we went. Yep.
Yeah, I was lucky to go once a year. I'm from Northern California, so growing up, it was always a treat for us to go though. And
Yeah.
All right, so you grew up in Southern California, and Disneyland was one of your. You consider that your home park, I guess?
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't compete with like Knott's or anything like that, or
No,
Knott's very fun.
I mean, we always went to Knott's, but it doesn't compare.
no, it doesn't. Okay, so let's get. So what got you started in art?
Yeah, I've been into art my whole life as a kid, and then in high school taking art classes, and just kind of exploring my own style. I used to love to sketch, draw, manual art. This is before computers, before digital. Mm-hmm. And then when digital came along, I picked that up right away, using those first versions of Illustrator and Photoshop and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So the pieces that kind of struck me was the Jungle Cruise boat, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. And of course the Haunted Mansion. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I thought was, because we've been to the Walt Disney Family Museum a couple times, and they have an actual multi-plane camera there. Mm-hmm. And this is exactly, this kind of was very reminiscent of like, oh, that's what this kind of looks like to me. Is that kind of what you were going for with that?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's the whole concept of these art pieces. They're dioramas that kind of simulate the experience of looking down a multi-plane camera.
Oh, gotcha.
That's exactly, because back in the day, I love animation, so that's where my love of Disney started, and I wanted to be an animator. But I eventually moved out of pursuing that career path.
Oh, how come?
Cost. Too bad. It would have been a good career, and this is before Pixar and everything, so I'm sure I would have landed a good job. But no, it's just cost. I wasn't ready to go into debt for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, you mean for education and the software and
yeah.
Okay.
All of that, yeah.
Oh,
so, and part of that is just kind of when you're in your early 20s, just floating through life, finding your way and all that. So there's just a lot of wasted time on my end, just kind of backing out from that. But I never left art. I always continued it. I was floating through a lot of jobs and being unhappy.
Yeah.
But I landed other design jobs. Just working for various companies, and then eventually I just kind of branched out on my own and got my own clientele. So this is what I do for my main line of work is multimedia design, graphic design, video production, photography, audio production, recording, editing, all of it.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. And so I've been doing that for over 10, 15 years. And just recently, probably in the last 3 to 4 years, is when I kind of struck onto the idea of doing multiplanes. And this is a way for me to have an outlet that wasn't necessarily aligned with other clients, and just kind of having my own way to just have fun with my art without it being controlled, in boardrooms and all that, and meetings and, upper management. all that stuff.
Yeah, like I don't like that over here. Move that over there, or maybe can it be like this, or be like that?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I experienced that a lot. And it comes with the territory.
Yeah, because you have your client, and they have what they think they want, and you're kind of like, well, how about this? And this could be better, and they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I do have a question. Like the diorama, how did you land on that? I mean, did you dabble in it before, or did you just kind of like?
I did.
Yeah,
I did dabble in it. I like maybe 10 years ago, I tried to, because I've always been fascinated by dioramas, and I came up with an idea to do one. I was going to do exactly what I'm doing now, this kind of multi-layered diorama, using like photos or art, just kind of that exploded view. And I had made mock-ups of it, but so I was using kind of like these plastic sheets or transparencies and layering the art within that.
Oh, yeah.
And so it actually failed because once you stack about 2 or 3 of those sheets, it starts becoming murky and kind of yellowish as you look back into the scene,
Okay.
And I thought, okay, well, that doesn't work. So, I mean, I guess the alternative is using glass or something like that. But then, that's not good. That's not safe.
Yeah.
And then it's expensive, and acrylic, all that's expensive. And so, no, I ditched the idea, and it was kind of in the back burner for a long time. And then it was funny. One time, just in the recent 5 years, we were, I think I bought a vinyl sticker off Etsy or something like that. And it was just horrible. It was just a horrible, it didn't look like what was advertised.
Right.
So then I was like, man, I was all bummed out, and I bought this, it wasn't. So anyways, around that time, my wife had bought one of those vinyl cutting machines, So I was like, I'm going to make my own. So I made my own. I took the time to design basically the same design, but make it better.
Yeah.
And it was cool, and I loved it. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. So then I started experimenting doing multi-layered vinyl. Yeah, and so the very first design that I did was the flux capacitor.
Very cool, yeah.
Yeah, the one that uses the Apple laptop to light up. And that was a huge hit, and everybody loved it. I sold a ton of them. And then it's cool, but I wanted something that's similar, that uses multi-layer, but is kind of easy to handle and put together. So with if you've ever messed around with vinyl stickers, if you mess up or you're applying it, it's stuck. You could easily ruin it. Yeah. So anyways, so that was that. And so I started experimenting with doing the kind of multi-layer design, but using paper instead. Paper construct, like cardstock, heavy duty paper.
Yeah.
And then instead of using just this flat colored vinyl, I'd use full blown illustrations, since that's what I do in my line of work. Is I do a lot of illustration as well. So I thought, why don't I just do my own illustrations and bring it to life? Using the multiplane technique. And that was the first one, and I loved like the first prototype. I had done a Yeti one. That was the very first prototype, and it was fun. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is cool. So I went down the path of designing 5 of them, and I spent a whole year developing them, and then I did my first convention in Pasadena at DesignerCon, which is 2015 DesignerCon, and it went over really well. I sold a ton of them, and I thought, oh, this is so cool. So yeah, that was it. Once I got positive feedback from the public, then
you got to go, right?
Yeah. I kept with it.
Man, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think they're really cool. I mean, when you look at it, I guess the 3-dimension side of it, I don't have it in my mind. So when you see it come, it brings something very static and brings it to life, and it's just it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, right. It's clever. I go, man. Yeah. I bet you this guy's clever because and this is where we got to talk to him because I appreciate the angle you took to get this. To get this art done, and I'm probably gonna end up getting one because I just even though the mansion is not my favorite attraction of all.
Come on.
Well, maybe we can talk about it. We'll get to that in a little bit. So quick, Jacob. So what is the process of actually doing your own version of the Haunted Mansion? And so there are 3 that are Disney related, right? The Yeti, Jungle Cruise, and Mansion.
The Yeti is just standard. It's not related to the Disney Yeti. It's just
okay. Okay,
the Yeti from Folklore and all that.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so the Haunted Mansion and Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise, yeah.
Okay, did you have to? What is the process? Did you have to talk to Disney legal about that? Or?
No, I am not licensed whatsoever to sell these.
Oh,
and that's
Oh, this little pirate podcast here.
yeah. No, I'd like to go down that route. You know, if they approach me, or I should approach them. Of course, that's the proper way to do it. But yeah, I mean, the way I see this business and the art that I'm doing is, it's still, even though I'm a few years into it, it's still kind of test phase, to see if this is something that could be profitable in the long run and worth the time that I put into it. And so if it is, then, I'll approach Disney for licensing and all that. But the thing is, if I front so much, because it's expensive for licenses,
yeah, it is.
and I've looked into that, it's very expensive. If I front all this money and then, it ends up being just a big loss for me, and I invest in equipment and, just man hours getting it produced, then that's a big hit that I can't afford to take. So at this point, it's still, I'm trying to see, is there good public reception for it? And, once I get, the price, that's the other thing, the cost and the price to where I want it to be, then I could definitely, push it into a bigger marketable thing.
Oh, yeah.
You
have to keep your margin and whatnot, and you have to make sure you're making enough out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but I'm telling you, I could easily see this stuff in the Wonderground Gallery.
Oh yeah.
This fits right in there. Like, and these people would buy this because they'd go, oh, what is this? And they go, oh, this is clever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder how do a lot of these artists become Wonderground artists? Because I know a lot of them aren't officially Disney artists to begin with.
Sure.
I don't know. They just make good Disney art, and then maybe they get invited. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
this is good
I would
Disney
definitely.
art.
Yeah.
I mean,
thanks. Thank
sure.
you.
I'm probably going to be getting, well, like I said.
I see you with the boat, my opinion.
Well, wait a minute. So we're looking at one now with a boat that's behind the frame. So what's going on here with this particular piece?
You posted it 3 days ago.
That's a sneak peek. So I did. I'm gonna forever call it the African Queen because I don't want to get into legal trouble.
I gotcha. Yeah,
I did the African Queen boat, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And I've sold a lot of those. People really like the boat, So I wanted to develop. So what I was doing is I was doing a multiplane scene of the Jungle Cruise, the actual scene of the actual ride, like in the water and with the trees in the background and all of that. And so. Well, it was taking a long time to design it, and I actually finished the boat probably like 4 months ago. And so I was like, wow, the boat's done, so why don't I make that a product? And so I scaled it up real large. I think it's 15 inches wide. That's the size of these. Holy. So I scaled them up and made them, three-dimensional. They're 3 layers deep, the boats,
Hold on, so that boat is 15 inches long?
It's 15 inches long, yeah.
Wow.
It's meant to be like up on a bookshelf or a desk somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a good size.
And this is a multiplane piece of art, right?
The boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's considered multiplane. I still consider it a multiplane. Piece, yeah. And so I have kind of
away by this thing. Okay.
I have 2 tiers of products right now. So I have the multiplanes, which are all the art that's kind of layered in the black frames. So those are standard multiplanes.
Yes.
So
yes.
The higher end ones, I call them multiplane gallery, and that's the boat. And I also had a haunted mansion. I don't know if you've seen it on my page, but so before I did the Happy Haunts multiplanes, I did the haunted mansion large frame piece, and this is much different than the small multiplanes piece.
That's the multiplane one we're looking at right now.
I'm looking at the multiplane one.
The other one is a large, like 16 by 20 frame piece, and it has hundreds of parts. Over, well, not hundreds, but maybe like 125 individual small laser cut parts. And I actually installed an LED lighting system, so the whole thing lights up. Inside the frame.
That was actually one of my next questions at some point, but we'll get there. Oh, okay.
So that one was a big hit, right? And so those were going for like 500 to 700 a piece. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and people were buying them. But so here's the thing, you know, like they take a long time to make, you know, and it's fun. But the thing is, a lot of people love the art, and so a lot of people are asking me, are you gonna ever make the Haunted Mansion smaller, or any of your other big frame pieces smaller? And so I used to have, I also had the Griffith Observatory in a frame piece in the same as well. And so same thing, a lot of people ask for smaller pieces. And what it comes down to is people wanted it more affordable so they could take something home. They love the art style, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So in my mind, I thought, you know, I need to stop making the large frame pieces. Even though I'm making a lot per unit, I'd rather make something that's easier for me to make, but yet I could get it into more hands. You know, into more people, and it would be a lot more affordable as well, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so how much does like the Haunted Mansion one cost?
Oh, they're $30.
Oh, $30? Oh.
And I'm actually trying to get them a lot lower in price.
Okay.
You know? But that's what I'm talking about, like scaling the business and all that, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now, working with vendors and parts, getting parts supplied and all that stuff.
This is awesome, you doing this.
Yeah, if I can get them down to like, you know, the 20 to 25, that's the ideal spot that I'd like to, because things sell more quickly at that price range.
They really do. Yep.
That's kind of the sweet spot, or the magic spot for pricing, you know?
I mean, you think about it, you're like $40 or $30 or 25, boom, 25. You hardly even think about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's weird. You're only talking like $4 difference. If it goes, $29.99 versus $24.99.
Yeah,
$24.99. Maybe that's $5 difference.
Done.
But
done.
Yeah.
Out the door, running. Yep.
But still, awesome. So how did you decide on the Haunted Mansion and the Jungle Cruise first?
Those are my favorite attractions.
Perfect.
Haunted Mansion. Starting with the favorites.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Jungle Cruise, so that one is I'm nearing completion of the actual multiplane Jungle Cruise scene. So that frame that you saw on there with the one little boat in there in the middle.
Yeah.
That's an entire scene. You know, it's like you're there in the actual attraction.
Oh,
it's got
very cool.
the river in the background.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I'm showing Mark, I'm bringing him up and showing him as we're talking here, and he's like, that's why he's like, oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean
want
that is
that.
amazing and then the smoke is going and the whole thing.
Yeah.
The detail is amazing. Yeah.
The scene that I have set up, you'll see it when it comes out soon. I mean, hopefully soon. But it's basically, you know, the scene with the Bengal tiger looking out by those ruins. Mm-hmm. So what I did is, because there's a lot of different scenes on that attraction.
Yeah.
You know, so I wanted to try to combine multiple scenes in this entire piece, even though you don't experience it that way.
Yes.
So the scene is on the frontmost layer. It's the ruins with the tiger looking out into the river. And then he's looking out into the boat, and you see the boat, and you see the river, and then off to the furthest background layers is the zebra and the lion with the rocks.
Oh yeah, okay,
absolutely.
Yeah, and the guy's going up the pole.
Yeah,
being chased by the rhino.
For the rhino, yeah.
Yeah, so I pretty much combined two different scenes to make it look like one piece. So you know kind of pull from different areas of the attraction.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, very cool. It's kind of an all-encompassing kind of vibe and feel for it. I could figure out the backside of water. That'd be kind of cool too. But hey,
yeah. I mean, I probably could. I could just probably put it off to
there
the
you
left
go, right?
Yeah. Or Trader Sam in there as well.
Yeah, keep on throwing more in there, Mark.
Well,
we'll throw another idea. We'll keep on throwing ideas at you.
Yeah,
You
what
figure it out.
is the maximum number of panes you could put in there? I'm sorry, planes.
Each one has 6.
All right, so we got to use 6.
6 layers.
Okay.
Yeah, and so right now, you know, I'm sitting on my second or third prototype because I always do a lot of prototypes, and I never release it until like my personal benchmark is, you know, am I blown away by the product that I made? You know, is it something that I would want to buy?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You know, and if it's not, if I'm being honest with myself, then it's not ready. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of my personal benchmark and where I push myself with each one of these designs.
Oh, perfect. I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And because you always be true to yourself in that way as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And there's no shortcuts to it that way
No.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I dude, I want the Happy Haunts one. I really do. I'm sitting here looking at it over and over and over again.
Well, maybe for your birthday, we can get one for you.
Yeah, and you have to see him in person too, because I keep on trying to think of how could I present these in shows, because the photos don't do it justice.
Yeah.
When you pick it up and you put it close to your face, and it's a 3-dimensional experience. It's like it's like you're there, but in miniature.
Yeah.
And the photos don't deliver that experience.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sold on one, so I think they're doing it fine. So I think you had posted some time ago, what other designs you were asking for other people to come up with designs for you or something like that.
Right.
And I actually suggested that at some point you do. I think pretty much every attraction in Fantasyland lends itself to this sort of design, but I thought maybe Peter Pan's Flight would be great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You got Skull Rock and London Park and just all kinds of stuff. That would be incredible.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
I'm sure you already know all that, though. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, right?
Yeah, that's one of those rides that when I go on, it's like I wish it would go by just slow. It's
I know, right?
Look at everything, and it's just you're flying by all quick, and then you're out.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, even the what's it called gosh, what is it? What is the boat in Fantasyland? The other boat ride?
You mean the Storybook Canal?
Storybook Canals, yes. Even that one kind of goes by too quick. I'd like for the boat just to park there, let us look at the little town. I love miniatures,
Yeah.
Well, it's funny
taking the art
because Jess, our co-host, she's a former cast member, and that was her attraction. That was her attraction.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
So if you happened to be on her boat, you would say, "Jess, stop this boat," and she would probably stop it for you.
Yep.
Maybe
no way.
She would have. She probably would have.
Yeah.
If she knew you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow down. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe you rode on her boat at one point in time.
You could have.
Yeah, you could have.
Yeah. Yeah. When was she working in?
Oh man, now I can't remember. It was probably 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised, man. She was there a lot.
Yeah. She was there a lot.
Yeah. She was there a lot.
So what? Go ahead.
Oh no, you were saying that Haunted Mansion and Jungle Cruise weren't your favorites. So why don't we get to that?
Well,
what are your favorites?
I know Matterhorn, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you
well,
were saying?
hold on for a second. I mean, Jungle Cruise is probably my top 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm absolutely down with the Jungle Cruise, and day or night, I prefer it at night, just because I think it's eerie and crazy, and just it takes me out of being in Anaheim for sure.
Yeah.
But my favorite is the Matterhorn, by far. Just always loved that attraction. And then I said, the Jungle Cruise and probably Pirates. Those 3 are essential for me.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
I think Pirates. I mean, Mark.
What?
I bet if he figured out how to get a good river of America with maybe the Mark Twain. Think about that for a second.
Oh, you mean for Jacob?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
what do you think, Jacob? Would that be kind of cool with it in the background? Maybe with the fort, and I don't know. My mind's gone all over the place now.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the Mark Twain running through, maybe the Columbia off in the corner. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's good, and that's a good way of thinking about it. Because it has to be these designs have to lend themselves to really sell 3-dimensional depth,
Yeah.
descending perspective and all that,
Yeah.
So that's a good way to think of it, and that's probably how I'd lay out, something like that if I was doing the large boat,
Yeah. Now I'm thinking Mark Twain having the forefront, like a canoe rolling by with all the people in it. And then
Yep.
You got some like Tom Sawyer's Island in the background.
Yeah, Tom Sawyer's Island, maybe the fort. Yeah, I mean, now, like, I'm looking at your stuff, I'm going, holy crap, my mind's like, dude, that'd be cool if we did that.
Well, I'm sure his mind has gone through the same thing.
I know. I can only imagine. I'm sitting here like it's all new to me, and I'm like, holy smokes, this stuff's amazing. Then you probably, you've been doing it, so yeah.
Yeah, no, my mind is like, how do I not get sued by Disney?
I know, right? Like, how do I roll around that?
I want to make all of it,
Yeah. So, what is the next one you want to tackle?
Yeah, after the Jungle Cruise, I'm thinking either Pirates or Thunder Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, yeah,
dude. in my opinion, either one would be fantastic.
Anything.
Yeah.
I bet you anything this guy does is going to be.
I mean, look at what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at what he's doing.
And actually, I'm a classic Disneyland purist. I don't really care for almost any of the new stuff.
Okay.
You know?
Fair enough. You and Jess would get along.
Well, hold on for a second. I don't know how old you are, but when you say new,
I'm 39.
okay. So yeah, you're
up here.
I mean, I remember before Splash Mountain, and of course,
Yep,
Indy.
I do too. Yep.
And
Yep.
So that, I mean, just up until Galaxy's Edge, basically Indiana Jones was the newest thing, and that's what I consider new.
Yeah.
And Indy's what, 25 now? 25? Something like that?
Yeah,
20, 25?
95.
Yeah.
Right in that era.
Yeah, around 95. Yeah.
Yep.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, 24 years. So let me think real quick. Well, so let's get into that just real quick because we always talk about Disneyland too. So we have the art piece. So let's ask him some of our staples about Disneyland.
You want to do that now or at the end?
No, we can do it now.
Okay, go for it,
we
whatever.
brought it
Okay.
up. So what is our first question?
If you have what is your essential? When you go, what is your essential attractions that you have to go to in the park? Like, there's no way I'm going to miss this attraction today.
Yes, and it can be several. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so for sure, Haunted Mansion and Pirates. Those are my top two. Yeah, Haunted Mansion, Pirates.
Yep.
But I also don't like when I go and I don't get on the train.
Oh yeah.
I love sitting on the train.
There's another diary.
Going around, taking in the park, and just kind of relaxing, and the sounds, and like you're on this journey somewhere.
Oh
you know?
yeah. No, so I have to ask a question then. Do you mind the left turn now?
Do I what?
Do you mind the left-handed turn now that it's there? I mean, with Galaxy's Edge opening and then the reroute. Better.
You know what? I didn't even notice. I mean, I've noticed the changes, but it's done so well, and it was done well, and even the surrounding land, it's hard to notice what they did because they're very seamless in the way they made these new changes.
I agreed. That's why, I mean, Mark and I were talking about that the other day on how, because we were having a big discussion, which we often do, about Galaxy's Edge, pros and cons, what affecting the park, blah, blah, blah. And, of course, our beloved train came up, and we're like, better or worse? And we both agreed, better.
Yeah,
even
definitely.
Yeah. So that's why I had to ask, like, better or worse. Okay, so next one.
No, just real quick.
Okay, go.
I had a thought. If he was going to do a diorama of the Disneyland Railroad,
oh, man.
What if he did a diorama of the diorama? That's it.
Dude, you're making work. Yeah, no. Come
Okay,
on.
I'm just being silly right now, Jacob. I'm sorry. Okay, so we've got Haunted Mansion, we've got Pirates, and then you would feel maybe something was missing if you did not go on the Disneyland Railroad.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, is that it? Is that those three?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, or just not going. If I didn't go to New Orleans Square, Adventureland area, it would not feel complete. I always have to go to that area for sure.
Oh yeah.
I never miss going at least through there, even if I'm on the way to another attraction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this one is similar.
Yeah.
It's going to be, what would you say, what attraction is kind of like, this is what Disney is?
Oh, we haven't got to that one yet.
Oh,
We got to do the food for it.
You want to do which one?
The food.
Okay.
Okay,
Mark, go ahead and ask that. I'm off script, apparently.
Well, actually, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. You can go on script.
No, go for it, Mark.
Okay, so what is your favorite thing to eat there? Like, what is your favorite meal and or snack?
The Monte Cristo sandwich, Blue Bayou.
I don't think they have it there anymore.
They had that last time.
They have it at Cafe Orleans now. I saw
Really?
that. Yeah, they've got two versions of that. But go ahead. So the Monte Cristo, you can actually eat that thing and not like ruin your day.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that you say that because I actually that was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But the last time I had it, I'm like, I think I'm over it. I think I'm over it. But it's good.
Yeah.
But I actually like I think it's the gumbo and the rice. You know?
Oh yeah, I've never had
really
that.
good.
Yeah.
I've never had that.
I just discovered one the other day. It was kind of I guess it was a secret one. I didn't see it on the menu, but it was a lobster mac and cheese, I guess. I don't know.
Oh.
In front of the Haunted Mansion, that little
like the
restaurant right there.
Yeah, like the Harbor Galley or something.
The Harbor Galley, yeah. It was really, really good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about that either.
I think my daughter would like that.
Yeah.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah.
I'll have to maybe get her to try it next
Yeah.
time. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not really particular or crazy about anything.
You don't-
Usually, I have to get Starbucks, Frappuccino,
Oh, there you go. So
espresso Frappuccino, so I can get all coffeeed up for the
There
day.
you go.
Yeah,
Get
there you
running.
go.
That's something I do every time.
So no Dole Whip or whatever.
Nah, I could take it or leave it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next time we go, we're gonna have to try it with the tahini, right?
Yep. Dole Whip
Oh, yeah,
with
yeah.
tahini, yep.
I heard that's the ticket.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So Udi's question.
Oh, is that now my turn with
Yes.
the question? Okay.
Sorry, Udi.
Okay, so now the question is going to be, what is, if you had to show somebody who didn't know anything about the park and said, this ride is Disney right here. This attraction is Disney. Epitomizes Disneyland. It's a tough one,
It is tough, yeah.
but there's no wrong answer. That's
Oh,
I think there's an easy answer for
okay,
me.
go for it. Go for it.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, good one. That's very common. I think there's a lot of people who point to that one.
yeah.
And for multiple reasons. I think the Imagineers, they push themselves to the height of their creativity with that one. The engineers, tunneling through the earth, multiple levels down.
Yeah.
The soundtrack itself, very 1960s, very Disney. Oh yeah, all of it. The restaurant, the period, that they're multiple periods that they put into the piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of Disney flexing all of its muscles, pulling from animation to, just complex engineering all in one massive attraction.
Yeah, it's actually, Jacob, I'm glad you brought that up because that's one of the things that I do when I go to the park is, I can lose myself pretty easy, but I'm always looking at things. I'm looking at how transitions are. I'm looking at the art and the colors. And I, bring stuff up to my daughters who are 21 and 18, and they don't really care. They love the park, but I go, we're going on Pirates. You guys don't understand how much of an engineering marvel this thing is.
Yeah.
That. And then I also bring up the fact that when we're on, Autopia or something, they're just going around in cars. But I go, you know what? You want to understand that we are above the Finding Nemo. Well, I'm going to call it the submarine voyage. But, we are above that. And the monorail sits above Autopia. So this is like 3 levels of engineering. And people just don't get it. They go, oh, this is pretty. I'm thinking, yeah, but do you understand how did they do this? Yeah. How in the world were they thinking like this? Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up about Pirates because it's just, and we talked about this a couple years ago with, maybe it was like last year because Jess went to Shanghai and she said, oh, I wish we could bring ours. Remember how she said we wanted our Pirates? I would never change our Pirates.
No.
At all.
Right.
Because it should be like a national landmark or treasure or something.
Yeah,
I agree. We got very, very, very irritated when they changed the red, and I remain irritated.
I'm on the same page with you.
Yeah, I can't handle her the new character. I just don't like how she sounds. I think it goes off of story and script and yada yada. I can go on, and we have.
They shouldn't have changed anything about the ride.
I agree.
Not even adding Jack Sparrow and all that, even though the movies were cool and all, but just for the sake of keeping it, the pure attraction that it was, I don't know that. Me as an artist, I don't like the idea of somebody tinkering with my art, and that happens sometimes when you're working with other people, you hand it off and somebody goes and changes it. I don't like that.
No, nope.
Yeah. So just on that idea alone, it bothers me, But yeah, I do like that new special effect they put into the ride where the skeleton changes, he comes back to life.
Oh yeah,
as you're kind of turning the corner.
Yep. Yes.
That is one of my favorite effects in the whole park, actually.
Yeah.
Even though it's new,
Yeah.
it's just done so well.
Yep.
Well, and like anything, what we say, like if you're going to change it, make sure you add. You know, we don't
Right.
like to use the word plussing because too many people have overused that expression on this
Right.
show. They go,
Yeah.
oh, we want to plus it. We've actually made a few jokes about it. So we don't use that expression or that term. We also don't say the movie Frozen, but that's a whole other story.
Or immersive.
Or Mark loves immersive. So
Yep.
I use that as much as I possibly can. But anyway, but if you're going to add to it, like add to it and make it better. If you're going to mess with it, that's why I'm frustrated with Red because it didn't make it better. They just changed it to change it, and I'm like, you didn't make it better. You didn't make it better.
Yeah.
So, okay. So the other one, the other one is better, right? Which one's better at?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So the other question we have is Disneyland better to you at day or at night? And if and where? Okay, sorry. Just answer that part first.
That's a tough one.
Well, yes.
Yeah, that's a really tough one. I would say day.
No, that's the
But
wrong
I
answer.
love. Okay, here's why. I love Disney at night. You know,
Yeah.
I love the winding down, just and taking it all in. But the reason I say day is, you know, every time you get to Disney, that first moment when you walk in, you know, it's just it all comes to life. You know?
Yes.
So
You're right.
You
That's a
know,
good
it's just
point.
all hitting the senses. It's hitting all of your senses all at once when you walk through the turnstile. You know.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And but at night, is there any particular spot you want to be in? Any that's better than the other spot?
No, not in particular. We've it's funny. My wife and I we talk about, you know, just going to Disneyland and just hanging out in one area for the day, you know. So sometimes we do that when we're there, you know, towards the evening. We'll just kind of hang out and stay by, let's say, like Tomorrowland,
Oh, yeah.
you know, or by the front of the park, you know,
Yeah.
by the front shops, then up there by the train, and yeah, just hearing the music, just kind of winding down, you know.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what are your thoughts on well, actually, first, before I get to Galaxy's Edge, do you, when you walk around the park, being an artist, do you look for ways that you would improve things, or do you just accept everything as they are?
No, I don't look. Yeah, because it's not my job, you know. But I definitely look for inspiration. That's where my mind is almost 99% of the time. I'm thinking, you know, product ideas or just you know, just taking in, you know, the cool details, the architecture, you know.
Right.
But I, you know, because I said, you know, I'm a classic Disney purist, so everything that I look at the park it's through filtered lenses, you know, or
Yeah.
my skewed reality of, you know, remembering what Disneyland was and the people that built it, all the Imagineers and those first people that lent their hands. So I'm kind of, you know, I'm always looking at that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's strange. Even when I get there, I every time I get there and we're walking into the front area and looking back towards California Adventure, you know, my mind is remembering the parking lot. You know, like we used to park over there.
I
you
know.
Yep.
I tell people all the time, like, yeah, we used to get dropped off right at the gate.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So it's kind of a mixed thing, a mixed experience for me, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite part of the theming in the park? What do you think is the best area for you for theming?
Theming, it's got to be Main Street, USA.
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah, because with that, it's pretty
Wrong
cool.
answer,
You know?
Jacob. That's the wrong answer. Okay.
No,
good. I'm totally joking.
Well, here's why. Because all the other theming throughout the rest of the park, they're like fantasy pieces, right? Mm-hmm. You know, what is it like to live in story or fantasy, or to go through the world of tomorrow, or to go on adventure, right? And those are all cool. But Main Street, it's like Walt made a time machine that took you to another era, another time, you know?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh,
you know?
that is amazing. One of my favorite things about Main Street is the fact that in my mind it goes back, and I think I made a comment about it because we did a whole episode dedicated to Main Street, and I think I came up, or I said that one of the things that is great about Main Street is that it goes back to a period of time when you think about it. the era that the park opened in. What did we come out of? World War II was not that far in the rear view mirror.
No.
Optimism was there. People were up. People were moving. People were being productive and happy. And it kind of locked that kind of positivity and vibe into that area and made it very grounded. So, yeah, it's fantastic. You're right. I mean, you totally locked that in. And that's why we did our last episode. We said you can't touch anything on Main Street. I made that comment because it was like, what is your 5 like sacred areas you don't touch? And mine was like the entirety of Main Street. Do not touch anything on it. Nothing.
Yeah, and I would agree with you. You know, it's just, and I know it's all idealized. It's it's Walt's version of
Sure.
early Americana, but that's why it's amazing and it's forever preserved in that way, unless they mess with it. But again, I like that early America and even early California kind of feel to it. The park in general. Going back to what we were saying earlier about what do you experience while you're there, Anaheim, the orange groves, all that. I grew up in West Covina, and a lot of the homes out here, there was a lot of orange groves before all of the houses were built. And so a lot of these housing tracts, they left like one orange tree on every backyard, that was built in the 50s. So, and we had one of those trees.
Oh, nice.
The same as what you'd see in the orange groves in Anaheim, because West Covina used to be an orange grove town, basically, farming and all that way back in the day, So, yeah, and that's what Anaheim was back in the day,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's fascinating.
It is, yeah. See, my favorite, I mean, there's no wrong answer, and you're absolutely right with Main Street, but I think that one of the parts that I absolutely love, and I always stop and pause even for a few minutes, is when we walk out of Indy and we walk out of the temple and the Jungle Cruise is on the right-hand side and the treehouse is over to the left, and you're under the canopy of these trees and there's lights and you hear the music. To me, I'm just like, girls, this is it, man. This is, for me, it doesn't get any better as far as theming and being lost in the moment. But I don't know. Yeah,
and that's why I've spent so much time on Jungle Cruise. You're right, and that's another kind of time travel experience. Mm-hmm. You're transported to the 1930s, 1940s. In some distant, jungle navigation excursion, and they got the radio playing, and you feel like you're there, but all the people that are part of that experience, like the radio operators or boat, like they're not there, like they just kind of left the thing vacant with the power still on, radio. It's kind of haunting in a way with the radio playing and all that.
Oh, it is for sure, yeah.
But an amazing experience. You feel. You feel like you're there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what are your thoughts on Galaxy's Edge and everything being there? I mean, have you gone there to...
No.
Okay.
No. Disney kicked us out the day before it opened.
Okay.
I have the cheap annual passes, so we're blocked out for the summer,
Oh, gotcha.
So I'll be back in, I think, September.
Okay.
When I go back. But no, I've been looking forward to it. I've been watching it kind of carefully over the last several years, trying to take it in. And, I grew up with Star Wars, so I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, And I don't know. I guess I have to wait I've seen videos,
Yeah.
It's one of those things, like, I'm going to have to be there myself to really take it all in, you know?
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. I made the comment earlier before we started talking to you that I've kind of tapped out. I'm not looking at anything else because I don't want anything to maybe affect my overall filter or general first reaction to the park in any way, shape, or form. Because I mean, with all the both positive and negative with the park coming, there's so much emotion. So I do have a question though. Does the fact that it is there now, does that bug your purist side? Does that
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't even want Toontown to be there.
Oh, there you go.
I can agree with you on that one.
I'm giving you like a high five over the air.
Yeah, we're high fiving all the way.
You can take out Toontown as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it is what it is. They did it. I mean, even like Tomorrowland, that's not what it was.
No.
It's ruined. They're gonna have to redo all of it, in my opinion,
Well,
you know?
well, what we're hearing, just so you know, is they're planning on gutting the whole thing except for space, right?
Yeah.
That it looks
Okay,
like
good.
Yeah, it looks
It
like
needs
it's on-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have a T-shirt that says "Make Tomorrowland Great Again" because it has been so bad for
Nice,
so long.
yeah. Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
so-
no, I think... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I was just curious about how because you have your purist side, but then the harsh reality, if you want to put it that way, is it's there. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, exactly. And so for me, it's like, okay, I just hope that, it's a good experience. And anyways, when we do go, we try to go on days that are like slower days to make it a more pleasurable experience, But yeah, I don't let it ruin it, in my opinion. I just try to make the best, and I have kids too, so they're seeing it, through less jaded eyes. Let's say, you know what I mean?
Good way of
They're
putting
not
it,
as
yeah.
jaded. They're not old and grumpy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all new and fun to them, all of it. You know?
Right.
So I try to view it through their eyes as well, and not to ruin that experience.
That's a good way to look at it because I don't have kids, but yeah, I'm at the age where you can turn around and we have fond memories. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing it and kind of seeing how it affects the park. I'm very curious on how it affects the rest of the park. Very, very curious. So far, it sounds to be having a, for lack of a better word, a positive effect on overall wait times and things of that nature.
Yep.
So far. So I'm like, okay, well, cool. Maybe we'll actually get a win-win out of this and not have something to raise our fist at Disney out of anger for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay. Well, good. I think we're all of the same mindset with this stuff, so I'm glad. Well, it's it's okay if we were all different because we can talk about.
We can
stuff.
argue.
Yeah.
Arguing's fine.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to go in August. Trying to put something together to go to Batu to check it out. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, definitely do it before the rest of the annual pass holders open up and come back.
Is that September?
Yeah, I think it's early September is when it opens up because the park is going to be crowded. And not even the way it is now. It's just because that's the bulk of the pass holders, right, or the lowest tier.
Yep. Yep.
So it will be a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if you could go, definitely go before they open up.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we're talking about D23 now. There's a good question that's popped in my head. Have you ever been to D23 or ever maybe going to and maybe presenting at D23 in some way?
No, I haven't looked into it. I've watched all the videos and all that, but no, I thought it hasn't crossed my mind yet.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah, because we were originally planning, but it looks like we won't be able to. We do have another friend of ours who hosts a podcast of his own, and I think he's going. So, yeah,
right,
maybe yeah,
awesome.
Yep,
right on. Okay, so Jacob, where can people find out more about your work if they're interested in buying something? And I'm going to put a link on our webpage for your stuff. So,
so. Vinylsmack.com, Vinylsmack.com is where it's my storefront, and I sell them all there.
Okay.
And usually I share, you guys know, on my Instagram page, just, kind of works in progress, sneak peeks, and some of my own personal, just my own life. Not too much, but some stuff of my own life.
Okay.
On that page is usually where you're going to find the most, And one thing I do as well is if I suggest everybody go to vinylsmack.com and sign up for my newsletter. Every time I release a new product, I release it exclusively to newsletter subscribers for a full week.
Okay.
The reason I do that is just to gain interest, to see where the interest is at, and to gain an idea of how much inventory I'm going to have to make. So usually if they sell out, during that week, it'll be a while before I get, build up enough inventory to put them back in the store. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I definitely tell people to sign up for that newsletter so they get the first jump on new products,
So I have a question that just popped in my head, and I was going to ask you this earlier, and I kind of went off track. So every piece is made by you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what is your average lead time for a piece? For, like, let's say the the Haunted Mansion piece.
Mm-hmm.
How long does that take you to actually from like I'm starting to now packaged up and ready to roll?
About 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
And well, I mean, that's one of the reasons, there's a good amount of time wrapped up, into that. And that's just kind of getting all the parts together and assembling it. But there's even more time involved when I'm actually, because a lot of it's all laser cut and, I'm making it in my garage, going to the garage and actually, loading up paper, getting supplies ready. So it's just a lot of time gets wasted in it,
Mm-hmm.
And this is the aspect of my business that I'm trying to actually modify at the moment, change to streamline it to make it go faster.
Yeah.
So that I could bring the cost down and all that,
Very cool.
But that's my current goal right now is to do that,
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, I bet you, Jacob, that you're the only guy doing this.
Probably. I mean,
I mean, I've never seen anything like this.
I haven't.
I've seen similar products. I have seen,
but they're not as good.
Yeah, well, the other ones, because I've seen one a while back, and they only use kind of flat one color paper.
Oh,
there's no full, and it's the full blown illustration that pulls you in. And I print everything on a real high res printer.
Yeah.
So everything is it's like looking at something like in HD. Whatever detail I put in there, it prints. Even though it gets real small, it'll show it. And then when it's laser cut, all these small, intricate, fine parts, just popping out of the frames.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I push a lot of complexity into these products. So that it kind of really just draws your eye in.
Oh yeah. Amazing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna get one.
Yep.
Cool.
Are there any
Awesome.
attractions that you don't want to do, like wouldn't be good?
Anything that's new.
Okay.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, let's just say like my ideal dream is that if whether I get licensing or not, and if I'm allowed to continue making these over like the next few years, my kind of goal is to tackle all the classic attractions.
Oh yeah.
The big classic attractions, what they call the e-ticket, kind of the big rides.
Oh yeah.
And then after I do all that, then I'm open for other stuff, you know. But yeah, I want to capture and have kind of all the classic attractions, as a goal.
So cool.
I know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and you start with Haunted Mansion, which is exactly right up your wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, Pirates, Matterhorn. I want to do the monorail and the train,
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Monorail would be cool too.
Yeah, it would be very cool.
Yeah.
Depending on where you put it, you could. I mean, think about it. You could put it in like flowing through Tomorrowland and have all this stuff going on. I mean, you could
throw like the People Mover in there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I started because I don't want to do just Disney. I know. I want to eventually kind of get away from doing exclusively that because, again, I don't own the rights,
Right.
But one of the projects that I was kind of tinkering with last year was I was doing a monorail multiplanes, but it was the Los Angeles monorail. I don't know if you know that, but there was going to be an LA monorail.
Yep.
So I was doing that with the LA city skyline in the background with the monorail coming towards you in the front,
Oh.
Yeah, so I had that's kind of a prototype that I have in the background. I don't know if I'll ever do it, but I love transportation. So that's another thing I want to get into, doing architecture, transportation, historic places,
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
So do you have one like a historical monument or place that right now is like kind of like this is what I want to do? Like if someone came and said pick yours right now, what would it be?
Yeah, probably. I'm thinking either like Golden Gate Bridge or the what's it called, the jail over there, Alcatraz.
Alcatraz. Ooh. Or the whole bay.
Yeah, I would like to do that. The problem with like places like that, like historic places, is that like I would love to do it, and a lot of people find these places fascinating because they visit there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things where it's like Okay, so let's say that you visited Alcatraz, and you go to the gift shop. If I don't even know if there's a gift shop there, but if there is,
I think.
you're gonna buy like a little trinket, something of Alcatraz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But once you leave Alcatraz, are you gonna buy like 2 months from now? Are you gonna buy the Alcatraz Island, multiplanes? It's like, okay,
I see your point.
It's one of those like impulse buys that you buy because you're there, So that's kind of the thing. It's like, will there be enough interest, But I mean, anyways, I love these places. Anyways, a lot of historical places, So I'll make them regardless,
Yeah.
And if they sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. Like one of my favorite designs I did was the Pacific Electric. I don't know if you've seen it on my page, the Pacific Electric Railway, and I did a lot of research into that, and it's very complex. It's got this 2-layered train, with this kind of orange groves in the background, and it's like in the city of Santa Monica, like at the turn of the century. And so that was one of my favorite pieces. But I've sold hardly any of that, But again, who's going to connect with the piece? I have to answer that to myself.
Yeah.
Who's going to? Do they have a sentimental attachment? That kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I see your point. I'm actually trying to find it right now because I want to see it.
If you're into like Los Angeles or Southern California history and you're a hardcore history buff, that's the person who's going to buy it.
Oh yeah.
But is that a big niche for me? Enough for me to invest the time to develop a product that that it'll be bought by those people.
Oh sure.
Or will it be bought by those people?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a part of business, learning to what people respond to, market demands and all that. So
yeah,
that's the less fun part of doing business. But
Right.
I'm just kind of putting stuff that I'm into. I'm putting it out there, so it's kind of a window into things that I'm into.
Yeah. Did you find it, Udi?
No, I'm. He has so much cool stuff in here.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm trying to find it, but I find myself pausing, like, oh, that's cool. Oh wait, that's cool.
Yeah. Right on.
I see some Back to the Future stuff in here too, which is cool.
Oh yeah, I have a. Yeah, that's the pretty good one. The Back to the Future 2, the scene where Marty's flying over.
Yep.
He's getting chased by Griff's gang and all that.
That is freaking awesome. That is one of my other favorite trilogies right there. Is that Back to the Future?
Is there any Goonie stuff in there?
No, but I would love to.
Oh,
I'd love
yeah,
to do
dude.
it. Yeah.
Right.
That would be cool. I can't find it.
You can't find
I
it.
keep. I'm
Okay, we'll
gonna
find
keep on
it.
going.
We'll find
Yeah,
it.
it's on the website.
Yeah.
It's all on the front page of the website. I have all the multiplayer.
Oh,
just
on the
front.
on the website, not the Instagram.
Vinylsmack.com.
Yep. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to it right now.
Oh, look at Udi's doing the research right now.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you that are listening,
Yep.
that's the Pacific Electric is that was the first kind of transit system in Los Angeles, starting around 1910, 1920, something like that. And so I picked a scene, that's reflective of kind of that train stop, and there's a mother holding her son's hand. He's holding the little teddy bear, and there's kind of a guy on the bench reading a book with his suitcase or his briefcase. And then the train's coming by, and you've got these telephone wires, palm tree in the background. It looks very, Los Angeles,
Yep. I actually found it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's a period piece, if somebody's into history, that's, which I am, I'm very much into history, and there's a lot of things that I want to delve into with historical
That's really
things
cool.
as well,
Is it black and white?
It is black and white.
Okay. Nice.
Yep.
I like that. That's really man.
Yeah, like I said, it's amazing that having that the eye to kind of picture everything is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jacob, for hanging out with us and spending like an hour with us tonight on this Monday night.
Yeah, no, it was good meeting you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And next time we're down there, we'll have to maybe touch bases and grab a drink at downtown Disney or something, or a milkshake or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
So listeners can get you at vinylsmack.com, or they can follow you on Instagram at vinylsmacked.
Yeah, so Vinylsmacked. The name Vinylsmack was taken for all social media. It was just like one account with a picture of a cat.
Oh.
And it hasn't been used in like 10 years.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
So what I just made Vinylsmack a verb, vinyl smacked with an ED. Yeah.
Well, you've been vinyl smacked.
Yeah.
You've been Vinylsmack.
Yeah.
Instagram.com/Vinylsmack. Also on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay, right on. So, listeners, after you listen to this, go check this out and buy something. Support this artist. I know I'm going to buy one. Jess bought one already.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, I think I'm going to get something. I'm not a Haunted Mansion guy, so I think the Jungle Cruise boat
Is all. I
think that's what I'm
got
going to
your
get.
name
But
all
wait a
over
minute.
it.
But wait, if there's a new thing coming out, maybe I need to wait for that.
Yeah. If I do come out with it, maybe a month to 2 months, maybe.
So sometime this summer.
I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm waiting on changes. I mean, I could release it like next week if I wanted to.
Oh.
But the thing is, I'm waiting. I really want to kind of get the price down on some of these products. So that's what I was telling you about. What I was doing earlier is just trying to work with other people to help streamline the business.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So that's kind of what I'm waiting for at the moment. But yeah, and I think I'm going to be calling that one the Congo Cruise. Most likely.
Oh yeah, you can't call it the Jungle Cruise.
The Congo Cruise, yeah.
And prices start around $30, and they go up from there.
$30 for the standard ones, and then for the larger, for the boats, those are $45.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The big frame pieces, I'm not doing them right now, but I might get back to it. You know.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again for hanging out with us. I think our listeners will buy into this stuff and go, this is really, really cool, and it's unique, and it's just a lot of heart put into this stuff, and I love it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely, man. Great stuff. I find it fascinating. Great stuff.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, anytime you want to talk Disney with us, you just drop us a line, and we'll like throw you on, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely, will do.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Have a good evening, man.
Have a good evening.
All right, you too. Talk to you guys later.
Right, sure. Thanks. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hey there, LTP listeners. As a very special gift to you, Jacob from Vinylsmack is offering a code that is good now until July 4th. Upon checkout on vinylsmack.com, enter the code multiplanes15 for 15% off your order. Once again, that's multiplanes15 for 15% off of your order. And that's good now until July 4th. Thank you so much for listening, and go order something. Bye. Well, thank you so much, Jacob, for hanging out with us. I hope you guys really enjoyed that interview we had. Very cool pieces of work, but even a much cooler person, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the one thing that he talked about was, putting himself into it, and you can tell.
Yeah.
So, I mean, thanks for coming on, Jacob. That is just great stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So again, I'm shocked yet not shocked that every person we meet that's in this Disney community is just excellent. Mm-hmm. Right? Just cool, very cool people.
Very cool, very down to earth, and very passionate about whatever they're doing. And that is one thing, like I keep on saying, we connect at that level. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's vinylsmack.com, and then go to Instagram for vinylsmacked. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so that's going to wrap up episode number 86 for us. Again, I want to thank Jacob for showing up and spend time with us. And episode 87 is coming up in a couple weeks. Topic we will tell you later. Mm-hmm. But you can find me at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com or on Instagram at leavingtodaypodcast. Udi, where can people find you?
You can find me on all of my socials, which are Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram, all HAXGOALIE, Hacks Goalie.
Awesome.
Jess, where they can find you?
Crickets.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, she'll answer that later.
Yep.
All right. Until next time, take care, and thank you so much for spending time with us. And we look forward to doing it again next time. All right. See you in the parks.
See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Disneyland is now in its normal operating day. We hope you enjoy your visit to the Magic Kingdom and that the memories you've made will bring you back again soon.
So, but anyways, for dinner, do you want to stop at the grocery store and pick up like a lasagna? I just needed something sweet to get me through the fucking.
But look, I got Jelly Bellies.
Lasagna, chocolate.
Oh.
Dark chocolate, almonds and sea salt.
Because I like making you angry.
No. I like making her.
Sugar.
You what?
Sugar.
Pee now. Always pee now. The timing couldn't be any more worse than it is right now. Jessica Aurora Farfan.
No.
What are you doing?
Definitely not.
While they work on technical issues, I'm going to sit here and drink.
I've got tacos waiting for me.
Oh, man. Where's my invite?
Hit it and quit it.
Bam! Oh, what?
My mouth hurts.
And every time I look at it, it makes me cry a little bit on the inside. It really does.
No, I will give you one.
You have to give me two.
Nope.
One from the back. Somebody take these. How many of these?
Mark.
No.
They're going in the trash.
Mark.
Your daddy hates me. Too bad you guys aren't sticking around for tacos after this. I'm so freaking ready.
Temptation is great, though. Temptation is great.
I'm still hungry. I have a full rack of ribs in the fridge. I'm ready. I got lasagna in the fridge.
In the fridge?
Yeah,
Yep.
I haven't made it yet. It's.
Oh, you have to cook it?
I have to cook it.
That takes like 4 hours.
Let's get going because I got tacos waiting for me.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going. Am I coming over or no?
No,
Right.
put your phone away from your stuff. I like cake for the three of us.
I know. Drink your alcohol that's way too strong.
Way too strong.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face